Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So I did finally take up my 22nd rank 5 star. Now it's quite funny because I already was at 22 rank 5 stars, but then a while back I ranked down She-Hulk, and since then I had been ranking up only 6 stars pretty much. But now finally we do have Dr.Doom at rank 5, the new prestige beast, and in this video we're going to be taking him in some of the Act 6 and obviously Realm of Legends and showcase how he does over there. We're going to be doing a full lane of 611 and a couple of fights in Realm of Legends as well. And yeah, so these are his stats, these are his abilities. You can pause the video and check them out right here. And unfortunately, once again, I did have problems saving the footage of me actually ranking him up, so we're not going to see that. But now we are in Realm of Legends, and we have added like pretty much a full synergy team to this guy. We have Suicides, we have Mystic Dispersion at 4, which doesn't really matter here, but still it's there. And yeah, we're gonna see how he does. So now if opponent is staggered, our heavies are guaranteed to crit, which is always kind of welcome and awesome. Now sometimes Realm of Legends AI behaves kind of differently. I wanted kind of him not to throw his special attacks, but he did it initially anyways, and then I took a few hits in the face, but it's a minor mistake. So anyways, after a guaranteed crit heavy, which is at 12k guaranteed, it's not a bad amount of damage, we are dropping our first level 3. We get that Fury that increases our damage by quite a bit, and the goal as always is to reach our next level 3 before that Fury expires. If I feel that I will be unable to do so, I often just go and throw my level 2 instead, but here we got to second level 3 just in time. We can see that he's already down to 61%. That is a quite great damage output there. And yeah, now I'm basically just rushing to my level 2. We're nearly there. I dropped that level 1 just before that to steal some more power, because that aura is paused while you're throwing your special attacks, so no harm, no foul. But here we can see some really nice damage. Unfortunately, none of those hits crit, so the damage wasn't as kind of impressive, but it's still a huge amount of incinerate damage to follow up that level 2. And now at this point, once again, we're dropping our level 1, which really doesn't do too much damage, but still it kind of helps us forward our game plan to get more power back. And now we're dropping another level 2, and this one is without any Furies whatsoever, but still presents us with some fairly solid numbers and that decent incinerate damage. As we can see that incinerate went down from 2,300 per tick to just over 1,000, so that is a difference of those Furies. Those Furies are massive, especially when you stack them up to 2. And at this point he's already nearly down. I'm just going to drop my level 2, and that should pretty much finish him off combined with incinerate damage. And yeah, so down he goes. How long did it take us? It took us about 102 hits. So overall it's not the most impressive damage output, but it's definitely nothing kind of like to overlook either. It is a quite solid punching power for Dr.Doom, which is like one of the bigger critiques on him. Unfortunately, you can't stack more than 2 Furies. I would definitely be interested to see what he can do if you are able to stack those Furies up higher. Additionally, if that aura would last a bit longer, and it would be easier actually to get from level 3 to level 3. But now we're heading in the fight against Captain Marvel, where we will in fact have class advantage. So it's going to be interesting to see the difference in the damage. So that heavy was already critting for 15k. That's quite awesome. And that was without any Fury buffs active on us whatsoever. Unfortunately, I think I will not make it to my second level 3 here in time, and we're going to have to shoot an extra level 3 just to kind of like get our Fury back. As we can see here. No, actually I think I made it, but yeah, so we're dropping our second level 3. Captain Marvel is already at 55%. We have 2 Fury stacks active, so I did make it in time. I think it's gonna be against Sabertooth boss where I don't make it, but yeah, so now at this point, let's see. So that's nice solid 10k over there, plus 5k, plus whatever else, 27k, 8k, 9k nearly, and 27k. So that was a really solid level 2 from Dr.Doom. Definitely can't complain about that damage output. That special 2 alone put up, what is 54, 64, 75k damage plus the incinerates. So it's not bad. Yeah, it's not a bad level 2 to drop. So now we're dropping another level 2 just to finish the fight out at 80 hits. We could have finished the fight earlier if I threw more heavy attacks, and that last level 2 was unnecessary to a point as well. But now we are headed into 611. So this is no retreat global, and we're heading up straight up basically to the Sabertooth, and we will in fact have the Sabertooth boss fight here as well. And let's just see how he does. So Agent Venom unfortunately has an ability to shrug off my shocks, therefore I can't always necessarily get my guaranteed crits in there, but here kind of semi on purpose, semi messing up. It is worthwhile to demonstrate that Dr. Doom's ability accuracy cannot be reduced, therefore like Quake's evade synergy will work 100% time even against like Agent Venom or other champions that reduce defensive ability accuracy. So that is definitely a good stuff to keep in mind. His ability accuracy can be reduced, so that synergy will always be there to save you. And just like that, Agent Venom goes down, 39 hits, not too bad. The only kind of thing that is slightly annoying obviously is the amount of level 3s you kind of have to throw to get to your Furies. Some fights I will opt just to skip the level 3 and rely on level 2 damage, but those Furies do increase the damage quite substantially. Now we're up against Red Skull, and I will in fact have a small mishap here. I will accidentally push myself to level 2 and right here. So I thought I'm dropping level 1, which would let me steal power and would be unblockable, but I basically shot my level 2 in Red Skull's block, which kind of sucked. It's because, yeah, I thought I was still at 1 bar of power instead of full 2 bars of power. And now we did drop another special, so we got our level 3, a heavy, and then we're going into level 3, and now the fight should be pretty much over. That was one powerful level 3 as well. That level 3 damage Dr. Doom has is actually quite solid, so it doesn't feel like that much of a waste. Unfortunately here Doom does decide to shoot his own level 2, but it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna drop my level 2 in return and finish the fight off. So 49 hits. This definitely was not kind of like the best example of how to play Dr. Doom. Quite a few slip-ups from my side, but I was recording these fights like super early in the morning, still with my morning brain on, and before I have had my coffee, so yeah, don't kill me in comment section. But now we're moving on against Iron Patriot. So this is again a fairly good matchup, just because of those armor buffs Iron Patriot can get that we have a chance to nullify, and in return gain more power, get our specials quicker. So it works out quite perfect for us. And I definitely must admit, the thing that I love most about Dr. Doom is the fact that you never really kind of have to bait out special attacks from opponent. If they throw the special attacks, good. If they don't, even better, because you are awarded with more power steal once you kind of execute your game plan. Now there was another mistake where I shot my level 2 in his block. However, this one I did everything correctly. Unfortunately, I do trigger no retreat for a split second just before the fight is over, but it didn't do too much damage to us. And now we're moving on to the next fight. The next fight is going to be Punisher 2099, and now this guy can be quite annoying. His specials are quite annoying to evade and all that stuff. However, Dr. Doom, once again, well, first of all, he's a bit of a tank, so he can definitely take a block damage and a special in block. And second of all, you never really kind of have to bait out or deal with any special attacks. Definitely a lot less often than in an average fight. Also, just fooling around, I did a Red Hulk kill, which I might upload a bit later, Red Hulk and Old Man Logan kill. And I think in the entire fight, Red Hulk basically threw like 1 or 2 special attacks, and the rest of the time I was just pounding at him and power stealing him and dropping my own stuff. So that is a really, really kind of pleasant thing Dr. Doom has going for him. It's just the simple fact that you kind of completely skip and avoid the idea of actually baiting out opponent's special attacks. And yeah, so Punisher 2099 goes down, and we're going to head to the next fight, which is going to be Nebula with a quite substantial power gain. I think she has 200% power gain, and typically I remember this fight to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Now, initially, obviously, Nebula is immune to first 3 shock effects, so my first couple of mediums won't shock her, but now that she's already at 15 charges, she just takes shock damage like the rest of the mortal champions. And now we're dropping our level 1 to power steal even more. So we're heading over there. We're nearly at 3 bars of power at this point, just because we're stealing quite a huge chunk of power. Unfortunately, she does throw her level 2 here, but it's not a big deal once again. Because Dr. Doom can take a shot in the block, because why not? Now we can see that special 3 did a chunk of damage. Now I'm just basically building up to my next special. She's already at 34%. We're still as healthy as ever. Once again, this time she's like super willingly throwing her special attacks for whatever reason. And here I was a split second too late. My Fury expired before I dropped my level 2. I mean, it's still going to be enough to kill her, but unfortunately I had to eat the recoil damage, which was unfortunate. And now the last fight before the boss. And it's just a Gambit, it's nothing too special. And yeah, so we're gonna see what happens now. He has aggression regeneration node on, but I don't particularly care about it, just because yeah, I never feel that I will be in a situation where I have to continuously try and bait out special attack and will be unable to strike him for prolonged periods of time. And this time he seems to be quite willing to throw his special attacks as well. As you can see, he just randomly goes ahead and drops them, but whatever. So I'm skipping my level 3 at this point and just drop my level 2 instead. Unfortunately, none of that stuff crits, so he's still alive, but here I am dropping a couple more heavy attacks. Now I do not have guaranteed crit synergy here, I think. Yes, I only have the one that shrugs off the debuffs with Symbiote Supreme. But nonetheless, Gambit does go down, and we have the final fight, the Sabertooth left. And before we kind of get to it and before the rest of the fight happens, I wanted to say that this is not meant to be kind of like a full review of Dr. Doom. I will take a bit of time, play around with him a bit more, try him out in 6.3, maybe in some place in 6.2 and stuff like that, just to check out how he does, and before kind of like I give my final judgment of the character. But so far it's obvious that he isn't a new Ghost, that he isn't Corvus. He has his set of weaknesses, he definitely has his set of strong sides as well. And overall I do think he's a solid champ with really great power control, some fairly unique style, but he's not a game changer in a sense that pulling Dr. Doom, for instance, early in your MCOC game will not immediately change the entire way you kind of play or look at the game, like Ghost does or like Corvus does, because they make your life so much easier. But overall, I do believe Doom is a really well-rounded champion, and he's like a fairly solid addition to the Mystic class, especially considering their recent couple of years and lack of decent good champions. So that definitely does help Dr. Doom quite substantially. But now let's get back to the fight. Now I am dropping my level 2s, unfortunately, when that armor phase of Oscillate is on, so they don't do nearly as much damage as they normally would. But that is kind of like one of those things that you kind of just have to get on with, because you have a limited of time to get to your special 3 and to activate it if you want to stack the Furies up. So at this point, once again, I dropped my level 2 while he was in his Oscillate armor phase, so it didn't do as much damage. But still, we can see that the Sabertooth is going down fairly steadily. It's definitely not the quickest fight here, because we don't really have anything to contend with that passive regeneration, and we just have to out-damage it, which kind of sucks at times because that regen is quite huge. But at the same time, our damage is fairly impressive too. And slowly but surely, Sabertooth is down to 32%. We have a Fury active straight after our level 3, and we are in pretty good position to finish this fight out. I just want to get to my level 2, bait out a heavy attack from this guy, quickly steal a bit of power, drop my level 2 just before that Fury expires, deal some decent damage. You can see it's at 19% now, plus those incinerates are going to work, and drop my level 1 to steal some more power. Even though we don't have any more Furies, at level 2 still delivers solid amount of damage, and now incinerates finally take him down. But yeah, that will do for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya.